Hello, beautiful people. It's good to have you here once again. Welcome to my channel. Thanks so much for the support so far. I really appreciate. I see all the support and I really appreciate. So just right before we get into making it, please, you know what to do already. Just click that subscribe button, like this video, share this video, and drop your comments right in the comment section. All right. On today's tutorial, I'll be making a corset dress. We can see it's like a V-shaped pointed towards the hips. So this is what we call a basque corset. So basically, we're doing a basque corset today, just exactly like what we have in the picture. So without further ado, let's just go right into making it. Yeah. Here is my pattern. I have it cut out. So I'm working with this for now. I think I'll make another video where how to make another pattern. Like I'll put you through how I came up with my pattern, but for now this is what I'll be working with. So you can see how it is slanting here and it looks V here. So basically we are doing a basque corset. Okay, I'd already placed my patterns on the fabric already, as we can see. So you notice this too, there is no fabric on them yet, okay, because I want to use another fabric for it, so just ignore these extras here. I was really trying to manage the fabric that is left of this. So this is basically it. Then I would measure out, I'll mark out my sewing allowance on each of this and we'll get right back. So I've marked it down already. You can see the lines. Okay, I used half an inch all through. This is still left here and here. I used half an inch as well right down here, and here this is the end of it. So I made it 1.5 inch for the sewing allowance, while the other sides are half an inch. So basically for this side, I hope we can see this well. Yes, for this side is meant to be on fold, right? This is the center, the middle. This should be like the inset, but it's just like the center front, and it's supposed to be on fold, but my fabric wasn't really enough, so I think I was just basically managing the fabric, and so this was what I could make out from the piece basically. So I put half an inch here, then I'll be joining it together because this is meant to be one piece and not two piece. So this is just for you, in case you're doing this should be on fold and it's supposed to be one piece and not two piece. So I hope we get to where, yeah. And so I'll just go over to cut them. As you can see it, I've cut it out. You can see all the sewing allowance I left out. So I'll be going over to do this as well, cut this. It looks really funny. I'm using a newspaper for this. I just reading through some of the prints of the paper, but however, so this is what I'm using for this other sides, the cups. So I'm using this so we can understand that this is like, oh, mistake. So we can understand that this is like a mix match already. This fabric was what I was meant to use for everything, including this, but it wasn't enough, and I'm not ready to take a trip to the market right now. No, I'm not ready for that. So I just had to improvise and do something. So this was the style I intended to do first, but because this wasn't enough, I would just change the style, and I'm very sure it's going to come out good. Like, I'm very sure. I've never gotten to half of the dress already. I'm sure you can see that, like, this is a live tutorial. I'm making it from scratch. I have not completed it, but I'm very sure it's going to end up really nice. So I'll be cutting out this for this bra cups. This would be two piece. Yes, I'll cut this out on two piece and cut this out on two piece as well. So I was just thinking that what I said earlier sounded like I was bragging. Really, I'm not bragging. I'm sure it will come out nice. Yeah, so here's what we have here. This is this and this that and all of that. So I would go over to cut my lining. That's the next thing I would do. I'll cut out my lining and then I get right back. So here's my lining for this and this as well. And the other side of the bust here, that's this. And the last one, this which is the inset. So basically I have all my lining for the four piece all together. I removed the pattern paper from the fabric, and so while removing the pattern paper, it's very important to mark out the edge where we'll be sewing to the other part of the bust of the breast cup. So I had to mark this out here and here, as you can see, and I did same for this as well, and for the lining as well. I did same for the lining as well, so I won't be making a mistake. So the next thing to do is to pick out, this is in two piece, pick out one of the pieces. This is the wrong side. I'll pick out one of the piece just like so, and this is the wrong side of this other one. I'll place it right on it, and I'll be sewing it through by 1/2 inch. So I'll do same for this side as well. I'll place it on it just like so, and I'll sew it starting from the bottom here. I'll sew it through it by 1/2 inch, so I would end up having just two pieces, this and this, and I'll do same for the lining as well. I've held it down with a pin, each piece together side by side, and I've marked it out. As you can see, I'll be sewing it by 1/2 inch. So if you be adding an interfacing, this is the time to cut out your interfacing, place it on it and iron it. But for me, I'm making it for myself and I don't want to do too much, so I won't be putting an interfacing. And then, but if you really want to, this is the point you have to do the cutting and placing it and all of that. So it's just a reminder. So I'll go over to sew it right by the sides, and for the lining as well, right by those sides. So for the lower part of the dress, I cut out this. You can see my dart already. I marked out my dart, and this is just the length, so I don't want it to be too long. So here it is, and here is my back piece as well. I've already divided the back into two pieces, and I marked out my darts. Here's my dart for the other side, and there's the front. So for the back, you already know I added another extra 1 inch for the zipper, as for the zipper, and that's basically it. So here's the upper part of the back of the dress. I would have used a plain red fabric. This plain red fabric I used for the corsets, so I've made it so perfect. But like I said, I don't have so much of it left, so I'll be using this instead. I already marked it out. Here's my neckline. I made the neckline to be a bit deep. I want it inside, and here's my hole. I marked down my dart already for it, and I've done same for the lining. I cut the lining as well, so I already have it, and this is in two piece. The zipper will be there. So for the end of the corset in front, this is what I cut out already. I marked this to show the wrong side of it, so this is it. I basically just kept the fabric on the back piece. Here's the back piece, as we know, and I just traced it out. Wasn't ready for any sort of calculation and all of that, so I just placed it on the back piece and I traced it out like so. So for the back piece, we know that there is a 1 inch allowance for the zipper, so I took that out, and I just followed it, so you can see it's just exactly what is on the back. The back piece, I mean, is exactly what is on the back piece, the neckline and everything. But I might still be making some adjustments to this later on. I definitely will be making an adjustment to it, and I'll show you how it goes. So I'll start sewing this by the 1/2 inch. Okay, so it's shaking. just run it through as well. Back stitch it and just go like so. Here's a quick reminder to please like this video, subscribe to this channel, and please share this video to as many as possible, as many as you can. Thank you so much. So I've done this. So you can see I'm done sewing them. This and this. So I'll just go ahead and notch it just like so. Don't forget to like this video, click the notification bell, subscribe to my channel, and leave a comment if you have any question. Thank you. So I'm done notching it. You can see I'll just do the same for this other one and the lining and everything. Then we'll come back. Right now I have the lower parts, so I will be sewing the darts. Oh, you can see the darts. I'm supposed to do that. So I'll be joining my darts now. I'll fold it like so. Okay. So I'll do for the back as well. Every other side of it. You can see. Let's go over to do that. Do this as well. And this other side. So here is the center front. It could be the insert. I cut it as two pieces before, but I've joined it together right now. and these are the two sides. So I'll just be placing them, the right sides facing each other, and I'll sew it by half an inch, just like so, and the other side as well. I'll place the right side facing each other, and I'll sew it by half an inch from up to down. I'll do same for the lining as well. I've sewed the back by the neckline. Can you see this? So okay, so I sewed it and I notched it and finished up with the darts. Here's the darts. Okay, and that's it. Here's the center piece without the cup. We can see the space left out for the cup. So I've joined them all together. You can see the V effect is really showing already. We're not done yet. So here is it, and here's the cup I sewed already. So we did that together. So here's the cup, and I'll just go over and join it side by side, like so. So show now to join it to be the right sides facing each other. Then we'll place this where this sewing, where I made this sewing. So it would meet this other sewing by this side, and basically would bend it and join it and bend it all the way and join it together as well till it gets up. So, and I'll do same for the lining as well. So I'll just go over and finish it up. So our corset top is all coming together. One fact I'll tell you for phrase: vlogging and sewing is not for the faint-hearted. It is not. It's extremely stressful. Like you can't imagine how stressful it is. But really, I think I'm enjoying it, every bit of it. So here is what it looks like. This place looks so badly carved, but just calm down and see how it ends. I think it's because I haven't pressed it yet. That's why it looks like this, but it's much prettier than what it looks like. So here's the full look. Here it is. Okay, just to further remind you that vlogging and sewing is not for the faint heart. I mean, it's not easy at all. So you can notice there is a difference here. Yeah, so somehow I was just playing along with the sewing and I forgot I was supposed to put my bone in. So I had to go back, losing it, and I stayed awake till 1 a.m. doing this. Gosh, it wasn't funny. But it was after I completed it and I noticed it wasn't even so much of an issue. Basically, the thing I did is I cut 1 inch of fabric for this, measured it by the length of this, and I just sewed it just like the normal way you sew a bias. That's basically it. And then for this under bust point, I just loosened it them a bit, like an inch to the both sides, and then I fixed it. I sewed it on it and turned it and sewed it again, and I was able to cover it up. So here's what it looks like. You can add more of the bone into it if you really want by these other sides, but for me this tray is just enough. I don't want so much. So let me tell you a small secret. I didn't put any boning inside here really. It's just the fabric I used to cover it. I don't want to put the boning, but I think this just covers it and make it look like here you go. We have our corset. So I would go over and join the lining to this. Let me show you. So here's my back. Can you just tell me what I did to the back? Basically, I joined the hair by the waist by each sides, and I added my zipper to it. That's it, and then I left out a space for my slit. So that's what I did to the back, right? That's basically it. No big deal. While the back is still placed, I mentioned earlier I was going to make some adjustments to the sleeve, no, the arm of the front piece, right? What I'll be adding to the corset. So just to properly get it right, this is the front piece. I'll just be placing it like so, and the back piece. Remember it's a basque corset, so you really not bother with the lower point. So what we'll be working with basically is the waist. I'll make sure the waist here the waist meets the waist of the front piece of the back piece, I mean the waist of this and the waist of this meets. And besides, my armhole measurement was the usual armhole I would use, so we can use the armhole or the waist, whichever it is. You can see here I placed the armhole of the front piece right where the armhole of the back piece is, and just to straighten it a bit, it fits perfectly with the waist of the back piece. So I would either use the armhole or the waist measurement to align it. So I think the armhole will be far better. So while the armholes have aligned, as we can see, the armholes have aligned right now. I'll just pick up my piece that I cut for the arm, for the sleeve, for the shoulder, sorry, of the front piece, and try to align it. Okay, I think this is the wrong side. I marked it, so okay, and try to align it with the back. So I would make sure they meet at this point, like so. Meet at this point, and okay, like I've placed it over it, and you can see where it meets at my corset already, this side. So this is where my corset meets. I would just hold it down with a pin. I would hold it down with a pin, like so. Hold it down with a pin through, and place, and do same for this other side, and hold it down with a pin as well. So held it down with a pin. You can see my pins here, here, and there. So I've held it down with a pin, yes, and I've tried to trace out the excess. You can see the cup is still very much up here. So this is basically, this line I drew out is the excess I'm going to cut off. So I'll just take it out and cut it off. I really don't need any of that. So unpin it, yes, and cut it out. So by this simple method, I've been able to get my neckline, the neckline I would want, without doing so much drafting and measurement again. So here is the fabric, right? I've unpinned it. I'll just, let me take this away. So here is it again. I've unpinned it, and I'll just cut off this excess on both sides. So we have it here. I've cut it out, and I'll just go over and cut the lining of this. See what we have here? My fabric and my lining. So I'll just go over and attach it to the corset and join them together. Yeah, back to this. So we've already cut out the arm for this. So this is the right side, this is the wrong side. I'll be leaving out this entire space. We can see this is meant to be this is 1 inch. This middle of it, like the inset, I'll be leaving it out, and I'll be putting my fabric here. I'll be starting from here. You can see this is curved, yes, except for all those rough edges. I've not trimmed it off, so this is curved, and we can see the shape of this as well is curved in. So by the time I join them, it would just fit in. So I would sew it by 1/2 inch, starting from here. I would curve it so it follows this particular curved shape. So I would hold it right here, like this, and until it gets to the end of it. So I would sew it like this, and I'll do same for this other side as well by 1/2 inch. And for the lining as well, I'll be doing same for the lining. Look what we have already. It's just fitting so well, you wouldn't even know. Nobody's gonna know. So I added the other side to it, as you can see, and I did same for the lining. The lining looks so rough, but that's lining, and that's how it always is. So the next thing I'll be doing is to turn it this way and join it by my neckline. So yeah, here it is. I'll join it all through from this point right down and come back here by my neckline. So I'll do that by half an inch. So we can see that's basically it. So let me just open it up. You can see. Then I'll put the lining, the right sides facing each other, and that's it. So I'm going over to my machine now. I'm done sewing it by the neckline. I hope you can see this. Just by half an inch. Yeah, so if I open it, it's basically it's my fabric, the lining, my fabric, the lining, my fabric, the lining. Yes. And so I'll just notch it. So once I open it up, it would just open well and fit perfectly. So I'll just go over to notch it. You can see I've notched it. I have notched it. I've notched it. Yep. So here it is. And then when I turn it, so it'll be much more easier to turn. So I would turn it like so. Okay, and my neck come out. Yes, so well, it's almost easy. So I'll turn it and I'll give it a good press. Really. So I'll give it a good press. And then would have this to deal with. So after I joined this lower part, that's my basque, after I joined it together, it was not really flowing anymore. Like we can see, this just went here and then it came down a bit and it's going. So and same thing for the other edge. So I would just go over and trim it off. No, trim it off. Yes, trim it off and kind of blend it. So I'll be cutting out like half an inch from the side right to here, but it will still have the shape, the same V shape. It will still have the same V shape. So I'll just do that and get back to. So if your own joining did not really like continue on a straight line, if it had some hiccups like mine, so just trim it off by half an inch. Half an inch is not so bad. And so if you haven't added your boning yet, this is like the last chance you have right before I attach it to the lower part of my dress. So you can still put the boning now. It's just to tuck it in through here and it goes right up. Tuck it in through here, it goes right up. Tuck it in through here, it goes right up. So here is still the time to attach, to put in your boning if you haven't. I trimmed it off already, and here's what I have. So I am really fine with this. I'm satisfied with it, and I did same for the lining as well. Here we have our corset. I turned this out again. We're not done with turning it out. So what we have here, I would sew it right here by half an inch at this lower part of it, the basque part. I'll sew it by half an inch with the lining, of course. I'll just do like so. I'll be right back. Here we are. I've sewed it together by half an inch, like so. Should I turn it? Will you say better if I turn it? Okay, I think so. So here it is. I'll just notch this extreme end and notch the other part. Then I'll turn it. You can see there's still enough space by the sides to turn, so I can turn it by either of the sides. So I'll just notch it and turn it. If you haven't subscribed, tell me, what are you waiting for? Just tell me. No, answer me. I need to know. I need to know. Sister, auntie, tell me what you're waiting for. Please, if you haven't, click the subscribe button, click the notification bell, like this video, and please, you can share and share and share. You can drop any questions you have in the comment section. I'll definitely be there to answer your questions. So I sewed it inside already, and we can see I'll just give it a good press. So what we're about to do next is just what I'll call an easy way out. Um Usually this is the lower part of the dress, right? As we can see, this is the lower part of the dress, and usually we're meant to follow the same basque and just cut it out with a V on it, following the same measurement of this, and then we'll just sew it by the right side. No, face this on the right side and just sew the V, but that is a little bit technical. So this is just like an easy way out, I would say. And so what I'll do is just to drop my the upper part of my dress on this, and we already remember the waist measurement is still the same thing. So the waist will be our focal point here. I would just drop the waist here. This one I've sewed. I'll make sure the waist stops right where the waist of my skirt is, and to do same for here. I'll place it properly with a good press. Place it on each other properly and hold it down with a pin. I'll get right back once I'm done doing that. I want to give you a full view of the dress now. So here it is. I pinned it down already. So let me just turn my video. No, I really can't wait for this dress to be complete. So you can see my pins here, right? So I've secured it properly with a pin, and I will just sew over it. I will use the same color of thread, so it's not really obvious. So what I'll do is to sew it over it. But really, if you wanted to do the other type, the other process, you would have to cut the lower part of the dress, this same V shape, and then you turn it inside out and sew and all of that. But this is what I'll be doing. I'll go back to my machine and sew it to it along with my lining, of course. Yeah, I've sewed it like so. So can you see the sewing lines? It's almost invisible. So here's basically it. Apologies, I couldn't take you through while I was sewing it. You need a whole lot of work, having to set the camera right here and set the camera over there while I'm sewing it. And besides, I'm working with time, and I don't trust those light people, they can just stick their light any point. So that's it, and I've sewed it together, so you can see there's a lot of excesses here. Oh, I never thought it would be this much, but I know I kept on adding extra and extra inches for the allowance. So since there is an excess here, we'll just trim it off, and I'll trim this off as well. And basically we are joining the front to the back. Here's my back, so we're joining the front to the back pretty soon. I have my front piece here, my front, and this is my back. So I'll be joining it by the neckline. So I have different styles or different ways to join by the neckline. You can watch some of my videos on how I did that. It would lead you properly. So I'll just go over to join it by the neckline. And I can tell you for a fact that we are 80% done. Like done. I'm so excited. Like I did this in 2 days. Yeah, let me see, under 8 hours or thereabouts, plus the having to video it at every point. It took so much of my time as well, and I'm excited I was able to run this up. At some point I got tired, really, especially when I made the mistake with this. Like I just dropped the cloth and I say I won't even touch it until maybe after 2 months. But really, I wanted to wear this cloth pretty soon. I want to wear it pretty soon, so I just had to pick up where I stopped, dust my back, know my mistakes, make sure I don't make such mistakes next time, and finish this up, like finish it up. I cut out my sleeve. It's two, so I have it here. Let me show you the full length of the sleeve. I wasn't really sure this was the sleeve I want to use, but at this point I really don't have a better idea of a sleeve, so I'll just cut this. And the good thing is, if I feel like I don't want it, no, I'll just change the sleeve. After all, I made the dress, so I can change it at any point I want. So my sleeve, I'll just once I attach the dress together by the shoulder, I'll attach the sleeve to it. I'm sure you know how to do all of those. Yeah, I joined my sleeve together. I joined the shoulder together, I mean. And then I joined my sleeve. So you can see the sleeve is really bogus. So I want it to be an extremely bogus sleeve. Then just to finish the end of the sleeve, I'll be putting an elastic band to it. So it's just a bogus sleeve basically. I'm sure we'll know how to do that. If you don't know, you can just ask me in the comment section. I can make another tutorial on that. So that's basically it. Once I attach my elastic to the sleeve, then I just join both the front and the back together. So the front is placed on the back right as it is, like this. So all I need to do is just to join it together and come up with the rest of the finishing basically. Voila! What did I just say? So here it is, we're done. Like you can see this beauty, right? You can see this beauty. I just can't wait to wear it. Like I cannot wait. You know, my bargain really paid off at the end of the day. I think it came out pretty well, pretty good. So I'm sure I documented all the steps I used in making this dress. If you missed out on any, you can just ask me any question, drop any question over there. I will definitely respond to all of them. So I just wanted to come close to the dress. Oh, I wish I had enough time to put proper bling on this. It would be much more beautiful. But really, I love it like this already. So watch me wear it. Ta-da! I had the most beautiful piece on. It was so much fun wearing this. I really enjoyed myself. I had so much compliments. Like it was just a beautiful day with me on this dress. So thank you so much for staying till this particular point. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye. I have some other sewing tutorials on my channel. Just check it up. I'm sure there's a lot to tell you a little secret. Promise you won't tell anyone. Yeah, so I didn't add any boning to this, but it still gives it the corset effect. But if you really want to add a boning, go right and do that. But for me, I don't want a boning, so I'll just be leaving it like this.